10 most elite special forces in the world. 10th place, GSG-9. GSG-9 der Bundespolizei is a German anti-terrorist unit, considered one of the best in the world, being a model for counterparts from other countries, created after the tragic events at the Olympic Games in Munich in 1972. The headquarters of GSG-9 is located in St. Augustin near Bonn. The officer's headgear is a green beret. GSG-9 is used for counter-terrorism, hostage rescue, escort, area security, neutralization of designated targets. 9th place, GIGN. National Gendarmerie Intervention Group, anti-terrorist branch of the French National Gendarmerie, founded in 1973. The group was established after the bloody events that took place during the 1972 Munich Olympics. The French government planned to create such a unit in case of a possible terrorist attack in France. In 1973, a unit composed of well-trained people and good equipment was established to fight various types of attacks with the least possible losses among the population, hostages, and the commandos themselves. The GIGN is able to intervene in France, its overseas territories, and abroad. The basic tasks are the fight against aviation terrorism, the suppression of prison riots, the detention of the most dangerous criminals, and the support of special forces of the police. 8th place, United States Army Rangers. The United States Army Rangers, of Rangers for short, is an elite formation of light infantry of the United States Army, designed for special operation around the globe. Already in 1776, during the American Revolution, the first official branch of the American Army was formed, bearing the name Rangers, called Norton's Rangers after its commander. Today its combat corps consists of 3 battalions that are part of the 75th Ranger Regiment. Motto: Rangers lead the way. The Ranger Regiment has a very high degree of readiness, 18 hours, to undertake operation in any area of the world. The Rangers are allowed to carry out any military action on their own for 5 days. The units specialize in capturing airfields. Other tasks include direct action, sorties into enemy territory, conventional and special operations, support or insurance for Delta Force and Navy SEALs, evacuation of people and equipment, infiltration and exfiltration by land, sea and air. 7th place, Sayeret Matkal. Sayeret Matkal is an Israeli special unit of the Israel Defense Forces, also known as a Unit 269 or Unit 262. Its soldiers simply call it Unit. The headquarters of Sayeret Matkal is the Sirkin camp, on the outskirts of the city of Petah Tikva. The unit was established in 1957 and was modeled on the British SAS. It is prepared to conduct a wide range of special operations, special reconnaissance and battlefield intelligence gathering, anti-terrorist and counter-terrorist operations, deep reconnaissance and intelligence operations, and direct actions, special operations behind enemy lines. Sayeret Matkal is also used for hostage rescue missions outside of Israel. The motto of the unit was borrowed from the SAS and is Who Dares Wins. 6th place, Joint Task Force 2. Joint Task Force 2 is an elite operational unit of the Canadian Armed Forces, serving under the command of Canadian Special Operations Forces. JTF-2 is known to work with other Special Operations Forces, such as the Delta Force, SAS and Special Boat Service. Being the main component of Canadian Special Operations, Joint Task Force 2 is primarily tasked with counter-terrorism operations, both domestically and overseas, and specialized in direct action, special reconnaissance and surveillance, hostages rescue, protective security, foreign homeland defense, and more valuable tasks. Much information regarding JTF-2 is secret and not commented on by the Canadian government. The Joint Task Force 2 unit took part in missions in Afghanistan, Haiti and Bosnia. 5th place, Spetsnaz. Spetsnaz, or the Special Forces of the Russian Federation, are the special forces of the Soviet troops and now the Russian Federation. The name Spetsnaz is a portmanteau of the words specjalne naznaczenia, meaning special purpose. These are military special forces subordinate to the Military Intelligence Directorate of the GRU. After the collapse of the USSR, Spetsnaz was called the units of the FSB, Alpha, Vympel or Zenit, as well as special units of the Russian Interior Ministry. The Red Berets used by the divisions of the internal troops also belong to the Spetsnaz. The most famous unit is the Vityaz Regiment, which was first a platoon and then a company with tactical number 9 in reference to the German GSG-9. Spetsnaz units were first used during the Spanish Civil War. They also operated during World War II, but their greatest development began in 1950s. Spetsnaz have a large traditional background for reconnaissance of battlefields, attacking hostile forces, but one thing that sets them apart from American operators is their freedom to mix and match weapons. 4th place, Grom. Grom is a military unit of the Special Forces formed in 1990 in response to the shooting by terrorists on March 30, 1990 in Beirut of 2 Poles in retaliation of the Polish government's help in emigrating Jews from the USSR to Israel. JW Grom has been an element of the Polish Armed Forces. It is part of the Special Forces, subordinate to the General Command of the Armed Forces branches. JW Grom soldiers are prepared to conduct special operations, including rescue operations, direct operations, anti-terrorist operations, especially in the territories of hostile countries and other countries affected by war or crisis. The unit is the Polish equivalent of special units, American Delta Force or Navy SEALs, British SAS, Israeli Sayeret Matkal. Grom soldiers took part in missions in Haiti, the Balkans, Iraq and Afghanistan, and one of their greatest successes is the capture of the Serbian politician accused from war crimes, Slavko Dokmanovic. 3rd place, Delta Force. Delta Force is an American special unit, created in 1977 by Colonel Charles Beckwith, modeled on the British Special Air Service SAS. It is part of the Joint Special Operations Command, stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The name Delta was taken by the colonel himself from the operation in Vietnam, with such a code name, in which he participated. Delta Force includes former Rangers, Green Berets and soldiers from the 101st Airborne and 82nd Airborne Divisions. But soldiers from other US units are also welcome. Delta Force commandos specialized in hostage rescue operations, usually from hijacked aircraft. It consists of 3 squadrons, and each can be divided into smaller units. Experts admit that the Delta Force is the best equipped special unit in the world, often also using prototype weapons. One of the unit's most famous actions is the failed attempt to rescue hostages at the American Embassy in Tehran in 1980. 2nd place, SAS. The Special Air Service (SAS) is an elite special-purpose unit of the British Army. It is the backbone of the special forces of the modern British Armed Forces. It was founded in 1941 by David Stirling. Initially, its main task was to carry out diversionary attacks behind enemy lines during operations in North Africa. The SAS motto is "Who Dares Wins." The SAS regiment is the British Army's main special forces unit used in counter-terrorism and rescue missions. After World War II, SAS commandos fought, among others, in Malaysia, Oman, Somalia, Bosnia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. They were successful in the famous operation to free 19 hostages held at the Iranian embassy in London. The action under the codename Nimrod took place on May 5, 1980. SAS, as one of two special units, has in its portfolio an operation to rescue hostages in enemy territory. It is about Operation Barras in Sierra Leone in 2000. First place, Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs are the elite special forces of the US Navy, foreign internal defense, direct action, anti-terrorism, and special reconnaissance. The precursor of SEAL units was UDT, Underwater Demolition Team, which operated among others during World War II and the Korean War. These forces were created at the behests of President Kennedy. They have fought in every major American conflict since the Vietnam War. They used to operate mainly in blue tactics: lakes, rivers, seas, oceans. Today they are a universal unit in the field of special operations, and they are used for direct action and special reconnaissance operations. They operate mainly on land, also in non-war conflicts. They participate in the VBSS, actions to control vessels. In May 2011, Navy SEALs were honored by President Barack Obama with the Presidential Unit Citation, the highest decoration that can be awarded to a military unit in the US. It is extremely difficult to get into training. Many recruits cannot even cope with entrance tests that everyone who submit documents must take. Volunteers who pass the 25-week basic underwater destruction course must complete the 16-week SQT course to qualify for a Navy SEAL platoon. Only after all this, they can wear so-called SEAL trident.